Hi, I'm Michael Climes, and I'm the news editor at Money Marketing. I'm here at the Emirates Stadium at Money Marketing Interactive London. Today, I'm joined by Steve Skelding, who's Head of Strategic Partnerships at Octopus Investments. Welcome, Steve. Earlier this morning, you were talking about the importance of estate planning in the context of COVID-19. Could you please just give us a brief recap what you were talking about?
I think over the last 18 months, people have become very aware of their mortality, and so more conversations are going on. Most people have over-communicated with their families for the first time, probably ever, and the likes of Zoom quizzes and dinner parties, etc., have been quite different. But I think hiding behind all that, there are some interesting stats, actually. So I think more people have become millionaires over this period than perhaps any time in history. Property prices have gone up quite significantly over this period, and obviously for a long time actually. But the main nil rate band, IHT nil rate band, has been frozen at 325,000 since 2009. Mm-hmm. It's been frozen until 2026. If that nil rate band had kept pace with inflation, that would be 417,000 today. House prices over that period have gone up 70%. So more and more people have become almost accidental millionaires and been dragged into the IHT trap, perhaps for the first time in many cases. And so I think there's a lot more awareness of the problem, and obviously conversations need to be had and plans put in place.
That's fascinating. And how many millionaires was it? You mentioned a specific figure. Could you?
Yeah, so Credit Suisse did a global wealth report recently. They came up with a figure of $2.5 million millionaires in the UK right now, but that's forecast to grow by 2025 to 3.7 million. So 3.7 millionaires in the UK.
That's amazing. And what is the implication of that for estate planning in a practical sense?
I think there's a huge implication. So with a net residence nil rate band combined with a nil rate band, obviously, a married couple could feasibly and theoretically have a £1 million combined nil rate band. But if you've got people well in excess of that, and you will have many people well in excess of that, losing 40% of the value of your estate above that is probably not the legacy you want to pass on. A big IHT bill, you want to pass on a better legacy to the next generation. So I think, financial advisors are really going to find demand for estate planning increase exponentially over the next years, and many surveys have backed that up.
And do you think the financial advice sector is ready for that demand?
Absolutely ready for that demand. Yeah, I think we've got a brilliant financial services profession in the UK. Estate planning is probably more topical now than it's been at any time in my 31 years of dealing with financial advisors. There's more awareness than I think I've ever seen. And so, financial advisors are singly well equipped and well placed to help that great wealth transfer that we read so much about to the next generation, and help some great plans be put in place.
And there was another really interesting statistic I think you brought out about, was it the average age of the number of people taking out wills, was it? Can you talk a little bit about that and why that's important?
Yeah, so people are living longer. We read a lot about the 100-year life, and while that's definitely going to be a reality for some, I was really interested to see the latest Office of National Statistics figures. So they looked at deaths between 2018 and 2020, so that's the most recent data available, and they showed that the most common age for individuals to pass away was about 86 and a half for males. Mm-hmm. And over 89 for females. So that's, way longer than most people probably assumed they were going to live, and then certainly an increase what we've seen historically. And just to back up that, people are thinking about their own mortality. The amount of wills written increased by 267% over the 12-month period. And I think really interestingly, the average age of a client taking out a will for the first time dropped to 47. And 47 is not an age where you would naturally associate estate planning to be high up on the agenda at that stage. I thought some really interesting numbers there. It seems like a bit of a change.
That's fascinating. And is all of that being pretty much driven by COVID? Do you?
I don't know if it's being driven by COVID. I just think there's a greater awareness. And the pandemic has definitely, as I said, I would repeat this, heightened people's understanding their own mortality. But I think people are just aware that they're living longer. Life's too short, really, so you need to live for today a little. But living longer means I need to understand what I can do with my wealth and how I can help the next generation, but while making sure that I'm looked after myself, and if I need care, then I can afford care costs. etc. So I just think there's a greater awareness all around, and there's definitely been a lot more press around this, and I think the public are picking up on it.
And why is it important for Octopus Investments to be at events like this and interacting with people in person and so forth?
It's massively important for us. So there's definitely an advice gap. We're trying to do what we can to help bridge that advice gap. We operate in a particular area of estate planning, namely solutions that work with business property relief. That's still quite new to some advisors. So we feel there's a lot of education, upskilling and training. What we do are naturally classified as higher risk investments. So being able to explain the solutions to advisors and subsequently their clients is really, really important to us. We're conscious that we're just one solution that's available to financial advisors, but we're very keen to support financial advice.
Thank you very much, Steve, for joining us today and talking about the importance of estate planning for financial advisors. Thank you.
Thank you.